Hello and welcome to another video and podcast from Fantasy Football Scout. My name is Joe and today I'm going to reveal my Game Week 16 team. I'll also quickly look back at Game Week 15, look at my future moves during the busy festive period, and there's a special focus this week on cheap defenders, as that's where I'm likely to spend my next transfer, or transfers indeed. Also, just to remind people, do press that like button, does help us out. Do leave us a 5-star review when you're listening to wherever you listen to your podcasts from. Also, do subscribe as well to keep updated with our latest videos and podcasts from fantasyfootballscout.co.uk, which is where you should look for our latest membership offers to grab the stats and season ticker and all the gadgets to help you climb up your mini leagues. Also, a quick plug for the Goals Imminent Table podcast that I do with Mark Joblin every week. We're recording that shortly, and this is I'm currently recording this on Wednesday, so this should be out on Thursday, and also Goals Imminent will be out Thursday, possibly even later today on Wednesday. Okay, let's have a look, see how I got on in Game Week 15. I got 73 points, thanks a lot to the captaincy of Palm. I was driving at the time, and I was thinking, I'm not going to get much out of my Palmer captaincy, and then the points just rolled in, so I couldn't believe that. Fantastic. So 73 points. My game week rank was 627k, which is my second best of the season. So despite actually going into this with only 10 players, achieved one of my best ranks of the season, which I needed it because I'd had a disastrous game week 14. So the way I look about these things, I saw game week 13, 14 and 15 as a block because there was fast fixtures coming, going to be lots of rotation. There was also that surprise storm impacted Merseyside derby. So that's meant that, I looked at that as a block, and I got 78, 50 something, 53, 52 I think it was, and then 73. So the average over those 3 weeks is really strong. It's in the late 60s, almost 70 a week. I think it was 204, something like that. So I look back at that, and despite that bad game week 14, I feel pretty happy with that. So yeah, I had Verbruggen, and who once again Flecken on my bench outscored Verbruggen. I cannot get this right, so I'm desperate to move off this. So that will happen at some point soon, but I don't know. My transfers need to be elsewhere. I've got 8 Nori, 4 points, assists, thank you very much. Gabriel didn't play. I had no one on the bench to come off for him because Greaves was my first sub. No points, didn't play at all. Mo Salah didn't play. Mikalenko did not play. So annoying. Rico Lewis, amazing roller coaster, goal, and then red card. So he ended up with 4 points there. Palmer, obviously, 36 points, fantastic. Brian Mbomo I've kept, and I think I will keep just because I'm going to look at transfers elsewhere. I don't necessarily need to remove him. I don't mind his fixtures. A lot of people go, the fixtures turn a lot, but he's the talisman one of the talisman for the team, probably the talisman. And I think despite poor underlying stats going into the weekend's match, ends up with 13 points. He's not my biggest problem, put it that way. Saka 2 points. Okay. Rogers blank as well, 2 points, but you never know with them. Chris Wood got 8 points, fantastic. Nico Jackson 2 points, but 3 shots during the match. And I'll be looking out midweek to make sure he doesn't play midweek. So I'll be looking for him to play this weekend. Very strong fixture as well. So I mean, at home to Brentford. Brentford's defence away is awful. Defence at home is awful as well. And Cunha, just a 1 point as well, but he's got Ipswich up next, then Leicester away. He's going nowhere for me. It's game week 18 I would consider, but I don't think I'll get to game week 18 and Cunha will be my biggest problem at home to Manchester United and away to Tottenham and at home to Nottingham Forest. If he's my biggest problem, then I'm in a good place, but I think I'm going to have many more problems. So as you can see, looking at this, defence is a problem. Going into game week 16 with 2 free transfers. I held my transfer this week. And I mean, potentially, if Ain't Nori had got booked, I'd have gone on with this no defenders if Gabriel's not out. But we're hearing that it's a muscle problem. So once again, we're not going to get anything from Arteta in the press conference this weekend. So I'm going to have to assume he won't play. So I'm going to play him and then have a really good first sub. So I've got to have a good first sub defender. I've got to remove Rico Lewis Greaves is a non-starter at the moment. And Mikolenko will play, but do I really want him to play against Arsenal? In fact, looking at Everton's fixtures going forward, trouble is just trying to find them. They're actually bottom of the season ticket. Arsenal away, Chelsea at home, Man City away. Then they got Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth. I can't see any clean sheets for that, especially the next three. So yeah, looking to remove him really. So yeah, cheap defenders is what I'm after. I mean, I could do something. I've got not much in the bank. I've got 0.6, I think. It's in order to get a more expensive defender, I would have to either remove Gabriel, which I don't want to do because I don't think it's a long-term injury. He might just be out this weekend, or might just indeed play this weekend. We'll know more midweek. I'm recording this before the Arsenal midweek game as well. So I'm not sure about that, about making that move to a more expensive defender. So I don't want to remove Gabriel. I haven't got enough to sort of move Lewis up to Alexander-Arnold or Gvardiol or Saliba. Timber is possible, but still tricky, and I'm not keen on that. I think I definitely need two defenders, really, with 0.6 to play with and lots of cheap defenders. But I think there's a lot of good cheap defenders to look at and to consider, and that's what I'm going to look at. If it was an ideal world, Lewis's red card got rescinded, Gabriel's fit to play, then I would only make one defensive transfer, to remove Greaves for one of the players that we're about to mention, and I would ideally get rid of my Verbruggen or Flebruggen combination in goal and get Alisson in, because he's 5.4. His price is locked this week. He's going to start going up. I like Alisson, especially with a double on the horizon as well. It's not urgent this week with Brighton at home to Crystal Palace, but it would be a move I would ideally like to do. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it though. Cheap defenders. Let's have a look at some options. So as I said, I'm in the mood for cheap defenders. There's three particular teams I'm looking at for various reasons. Bournemouth. I think they've got some good assets here, and we'll talk about those in a sec. Fulham, I think in Robinson, they've got a great asset. And Crystal Palace, I think in Munoz, they've got a great asset there, although Munoz is on 4 yellow cards as well. I've also got a comment was made, I was having a chat about this very issue on Blue Sky earlier this week, and FPL Roadrunner joined in that chat as well, and he was pointing out that if you went for a Bournemouth cheap defender and a Fulham cheap defender, basically Robinson, or you could go for Anderson whenever he's back, they rotate, as he says, they rotate beautifully. Bournemouth have got West Ham this week at home. Fulham then have Southampton away next week. So Fulham have got Liverpool this week, not so keen this week. Bournemouth. Then Fulham have Southampton at home the following week, while Bournemouth have Manchester United away. Brilliant. Bournemouth then have Crystal Palace at home, Fulham away, and then Everton at home. Meanwhile, Fulham have Chelsea when that Crystal Palace take place for Bournemouth. But then Fulham have Bournemouth and Ipswich at home. So arguably you can play both of them as well for those two. Then meanwhile, you're looking a bit further on to the sort of end of the festive fixtures. Fulham have got West Ham away and Leicester away. Brilliant. While Bournemouth meanwhile have Chelsea and Newcastle. So play Robinson then, bench your Bournemouth guy, and then you can get your Bournemouth guy back in again because they've got Nottingham Forest at home. Meanwhile, Fulham have got Manchester United at home. Arguably, I'd probably try and play both then. So I think they rotate really well, and I think there's a number of games there where you can play both of them as well. So they're both on my radar here. So anyway, here's my table I did using the members area at Fantasy Football Scout. Of cheap defenders, all matches, they've got to have a minimum of one attacking return. So I'm not interested in Colwell. He's out because he hasn't got an attacking return here. So I'm looking at these. Leif Davis is top, but it's fixtures I don't... well, it's not too much of fixtures I don't like, but he's got Wolves and Newcastle, then Arsenal, Chelsea, and Fulham. I just can't see any clean sheets, if any. But he has got the attacking stats there, so you'd be looking at an assist. But he's created 36 chances, creating 53 corners. His minutes per baseline bonus is strong. He's already got a goal and a couple of assists, but I think they're better options with the chances of clean sheets. Next one is Hugson. for Bournemouth. He's 19, come from Juventus. He has taken penalties in his career, apparently. He's also got some goals for, I think, for Juventus, but certainly his previous clubs as well, even though he's so young. He's had 4 starts and he's already got a goal. And he's already had 4 shots inside the box. So he's having a shot inside the box on average every match. And he's already got a clean sheet as well. He's only 4.3. He is probably my top target to replace Rico Lewis with. I've had enough of Rico Lewis anyway, even if he hadn't got the red. I like this guy because he is replaced Senesi. And the latest quote we had from the manager, Senesi, is that it's a long-term injury. He doesn't know when he's back. So we're talking definitely weeks and weeks. We could be talking months and months here. So Houston will come in for me. He's really cheap as well, so you don't mind benching him. Created 6 chances as well over these 4 starts that he's had. So he's my top target. Munoz I like for Crystal Palace. Now, he is on 4 yellows. You need to be aware of that. He's only 4.7. He started every match. He's had 15 shots inside the box. He's in a very attacking sort of wing-back role. He's created 14 chances, 3 clean sheets already, 2 goals, 2 assists. These are great numbers. He's taken a couple of corners as well, and he's won 7 fouls. His minutes per baseline bonus is strong, like all of these guys are. If I was to get him in, he would be ideal for this week to replace, say, for example, Greaves and have him as my first sub. So if Gabriel doesn't, so he is away to Brighton. And it is the M23 derby. So you never know. He could get attacking returns. Brighton are conceding, so he could get attacking returns here. But he's not ideal, but he's a good first sub, I think, this week. So if Gabriel is definitely out, Munoz will come in. Brilliant. Next week he's got Arsenal. Oh dear, I don't want him. Well, hopefully Gabriel will be back then. I won't need to play Munoz. Munoz could get his 5th yellow. It's against Brighton, probably will. So chances are he's going to miss this one anyway. Don't mind. I don't need him in game week 17. And then in game week 18, he's got this lovely run. He's got Bournemouth away and Southampton at home. And then Chelsea at home, I don't think is too bad for an attacking player like him. So he looks really good for me. So at the moment, what I'm minded to do is do Rico Lewis to Houston, Greaves to Munoz, or whichever way you want to do that. And have Munoz as my first sub, ready if Gabriel is out. Play Hugson. And then in game week 18, I'm looking to remove 8 Nori. Don't particularly want to move yet. Hopefully he doesn't get his yellow. Head of 17. And I'll remove him for Robinson. Robinson is a player I want, but don't want necessarily now, because he's got Liverpool away. Got Southampton at home. That would be great. That would be great to get him in. So I could get Robinson in for 8 Nori in game week 18 when I want 8 Nori. But I could also get him in for 8 Nori in game week 17 if 8 Nori is banned. So that sort of works out. And that would essentially give me Gabriel, Hugson, Munoz and Robinson. And I would be rotating to one of Hugson, Munoz, or what 2 of them will play. Have I got that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So 2 of those of Hugson, Munoz, and Robinson will play. They're all They've all got attacking threat. They've all got quite good fixtures. They're all sort of rotatable as well. So 2 of them will play. And then I would have Mikolenko on my bench for a while. And looking at Everton's fixtures, I could reasonably play Mikolenko in game week 19, game week 20 away to Bournemouth as well. They're all possibilities, but I don't want Mikolenko next 3. Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City. No. You're not in my team, Mikolenko, for that period. But I want to keep him because he does have all right fixtures. He does play. He has got an assist. And he's got a double coming up as well. And it'll be, I know one of them will be against Liverpool. But that could be game week 24, could be game week 25. So I think I would like to keep Mikolenko. There's no reason. He's only 4.3 as well. He'll essentially become my Greaves. So Greaves at the moment is my 4.0. But I've had to go there and play them. So I need a player that I don't mind playing every now and again. And I think that's the guy there. So anyway, back to my list. So Davis is top. Hugson is next. And I've mentioned his stats as well. Munoz as well. So they're my top. Hugson, Munoz are my top ones. Emerson at West Ham. I've been mentioning him a few times. Started 14. Cost 4.4. Created 11 chances, 3 shots inside the box, 3 clean sheets. They've got good fixtures next couple also. He's got a goal and an assist, and he's taken 17 corners. I like him, but he would be short term really, because West Ham's fixtures of the Bournemouth, Brighton, Southampton, good. Then they got Liverpool, Man City. So it's not as appealing. I don't mind him though. Gusto at 4.9, just the 10 starts. I don't really know. I like the 4 shots inside the box, but that's the same as Hughes in 4 starts. So I prefer that. And whilst Chelsea are going to persist with Sanchez and goal, I'm not interested in them clean sheet wise. They might get the odd one. They've got good fixtures, but he's prone to slip-ups. As Stupinan, he's 5.1. He just sneaks into this as a cheap defender. He's had 9 starts. It's all going to depend when Kadioglu comes back, when Hinchelwood comes back. Suddenly there's going to be competition there. So I'm not interested in him, although he has created 14 chances, very strong. And he's had 3 shots inside the box. Yeah, I mean, he's good, but I've got currently Verbruggen, so I don't really want to be doubling up on Brighton. Milenkovic in Nottingham Forest, 4.5, very strong, I think, 14 starts. 12 shots inside the box. He's your shots inside the box guy. 4 chances created as well. He has gotten a goal and an assist so far. Now, Nottingham Forest fixtures. They've got Aston Villa at home, not too bad. Brentford away, okay. Tottenham at home, Everton and Wolves. They're sort of 50-50 for clean sheets, but he's got attacking a threat too. So I don't mind going for him as well. Do you know what I mean? There's lots of options here. For those that can't afford to go up to, say, Alexander-Arnold or double up on Arsenal defence. Lewis Hall is worth a mention. I get the feeling he might miss some matches, though, with Burn. Can replace him there. I just don't know. But yeah, I think he's built up a bit of credit in the Newcastle bank there. 4.4, he started 12, 4 shots inside the box, 18 chances created, so not too shabby there. Taking 27 corners, but with Trippier back as well, I don't know, it gives more options in defence. I'm not wholly sold on Newcastle. And the fixtures, Leicester and Ipswich, but then Aston Villa, Manchester United and Tottenham. Robinson I'll mention his stats as well. He's one of my front runners, really. I really want to get him in game week 17 or 18 for 8 Nori, and it all depends on 8 Nori's booking. So I'm sort of covering myself for a bit of 8 Nori's booking there. So yeah, he's had 15 starts, 15 out of 15, created 13 chances. He was in my team earlier. I got rid of him on wild card. I wish I hadn't on game week 6. Just kept him, and I think he could season keeper, maybe. Bench him for the tough fixtures, keep him for all the good ones, because he's got 4 assists already, a couple of clean sheets. I like Fulham. They're strong. He's strong. He's a really good option. His price is going to go up as well. So I'd like to get him soon, but I can afford quite a few price rises, I think, in order to get him. Wan-Bissaka, West Ham is interesting. Created 11 chances, 5 shots inside the box, got 2 goals already, a couple of clean sheets. As I said, West Ham aren't. It's Bournemouth, Fulham and Crystal Palace, the ones I'm interested in, cheap ones. But West Ham is sort of just below that. And meanwhile, Kirkes at Bournemouth is an option, but I don't think he's as strong as Hughes stat-wise. He's got a couple of assists. He has got a goal. He's created 15 chances, but that's across 15 starts, whereas Hughes' impressive underlying stats are actually under 4 starts. And he's a bit more as well. I think if I went for Kirkes, I would lock myself out of some of these other options here. That's the way I'm looking at the moment. So let's have a look at my team reveal, my next game week. So this is what I've got at the moment. So obviously it's going to change. I've got a picture of Salah here. So I'll talk about the Salah Palmer captaincy, but do have a look at the video I did with Tom Freeman for his team reveal. We talk about the Palmer Salah captaincy in quite a lot of detail, so do have a look at that, really. So I'll briefly mention it here. So I'm going in with Verbruggen in goal at home to Crystal Palace. I think he'll concede. 8 Nori at home to Ipswich. Good. Gabriel, if he plays, at home to Everton. Brilliant. Lewis has got to go, but he's there at the moment because I'm going to remove him, probably for Hughes. And I hope I'm pronouncing him right. He's such an unknown player to me. I don't even know. I mean, obviously, content creators are famous for their poor pronunciation. He could be Hewson or Hugson. I don't know. But that guy, the new teenage guy at Bournemouth. Palmer at home to Brentford, very strong. Could be a captaincy there. Brian Mboma away to Chelsea. I don't mind that against Sanchez. Saka at home to Everton. I like that. Could be a captain. He's on my vice captain at the moment, but I think that was before I would thought about Palmer really. And Salah, my captain, the biggest reason for my failure in game week 14 was I captained Palmer over Salah. And Salah's ownership was so high, and he returned, his biggest return of the season. So I'm basically betting against Salah there, that he's just a spy in my midst, whereas Palmer might be around 100% or so he won't do me too much damage. But Salah, in my team, was the biggest killer of my rank that week. So that's why, not just why I'll captain him, but with Fulham without Bassi, it could be good. So, yeah, surely I am serious about that. Fulham. And also without Anderson. So I think Salah could do well. And I was joking in a group that... my West Country WhatsApp group that Salah always scores in the 63rd minute or something, and last night he did. So I accurately predicted what minute he'll score, so I wish I'd put a bet on that. Chris Wood at home to Aston Villa, thank you very much, I'll have that. Nicholas Jackson at home to Brentford, yes, that's good. Cunha at home to Ipswich, so I'm pretty happy with the attacking lot there. Rodgers, he has got to get a rest at some point. So I think it could be this one. But anyway, away to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, good defence. And also Aston Villa aren't that good after one of their European ties. Flecken away to Chelsea on my bench. Greaves, not going to play. So I'd be looking to remove Greaves, I think, for Munoz and have Munoz as my first sub. And Mikolenko can stay there. Third one there. So let's have a look at the fixtures, just to remind me, and this sort of sums up what I'm thinking here, sort of what I like to do and what I'm probably going to do. So the fixtures show that game week 16 through to game week 20, Chelsea, Arsenal, Bournemouth, Man City and Liverpool are the best. Meanwhile, they also show that Fulham's fixtures really improved from game week 17, and Crystal Palace's really improved from game week 18. So that's what they show there. They show that Everton, Leicester, West Ham to some extent, because that's because they've got Liverpool and Man City in game week 19 20. I've got the worst fixtures, same with Manchester United, but I think they've got a good run. Game week 17, 18 and 19 there, so I'm not sure why they're quite low down. But yeah, these are the teams I'll be looking to sort of target there for different reasons. So I put up here for game week 16s. I put notes up for the benefit of those listening. When I put this season ticker, I put notes up as well about what I plan to do. So I just put game week 16, new defence needed. So I'm looking at Hewson, and I've got my eye on defenders that I want in future as well, because I think I need a second one. In an ideal world, if Gabriel's fit, I won't need to make that move. I would love to get Alisson in. I would like to get rid of my Verbruggen combination and get Alisson in. So that's what I'd like to do. I put Fulham Robinson for game week 17, could be game week 18. But yeah, he's a target there. And if I don't go for Munoz now, I'd be looking to get him in at game week 18. So there's a lot of defensive moves. I'm quite happy with my attackers at the moment. However, game week 18, Cunha I quite like to keep, but if he's looking like he's consistently getting me 1s and 2 points still, after doing me so well since getting him in game week 10, I could move to Mateta, because I do like these Crystal Palace fixtures a little bit more than Wolves. So that's something to sort of freshen up the team a little bit there. But yeah, that's my thoughts there. I hope that's been of use, particularly if you're considering a cheap defender. So good luck to everyone watching and listening in game week 16, and good luck over those festive fixtures as well. Take care. See you soon.